it is your buddy, Peace and Harmony with you here today. Much love going out to all the beautiful, empowered harmonizers. We are zooming in and focusing in on a great viewer question that talks about really sort of not having productive thoughts, being sort of stuck in the trenches and not being able to really get a grasp and accept they're having a difficult time understanding and sort of trusting life and letting go of this relationship. You have to understand that if you are in a relationship with a narcissist or a psychopath, it's part of accepting the path and understanding that the world is going to contain, bad actors. What I think, in the media, people just, rather than saying this person was unethical, immoral, wrong, without a conscience, psychopathic, anti-social, they say that they're a bad actor. They don't really put into the seriousness or the heaviness or the weightiness of the situation. And the fact that these people have grave, long-lasting, and serious negative implication and influence and impact on the others whom they come into contact with when they really sort of go full-blown, when they're really in their full, they're showing their true colors. And the narcissist and the psychopath will always sort of try to be the leader, the one who is suggestive. And to sort of break that cycle, you have to understand that rather than checking in with a narcissist, their viewpoint, what they think is important, what you're used to doing, check in with yourself. Develop a sort of check-in with self. Because if you're sort of always habitually used to putting them and factoring them into your decision making. What would they think? What would they want? This is oftentimes at the nonverbal level. You're using them as just sort of incorporated an integral part of decision making and an integral part of your I am. Oftentimes is this narcissist or psychopathic suggestiveness. So you have to be very careful and really tease out and understand the degree to which you are unconsciously and subconsciously still sort of cycling this around and using this as fodder for your I am and really, getting to sort of feeling off track and not being able to sort of give to yourself rather than giving to them. Checking in with yourself rather than checking in with a narcissist and what is it that they want. It becomes the people-pleasing factor, and you might not consider yourself a people pleaser, but in the state of a narcissist or a psychopath, even those individuals who are not people pleasers, who are yes people, I can people, who will overdo and do too much, over obligate. These people who, there was a book back in the day, Melody Beattie, Women Who Do Too Much. This goes for men also if you are in a relationship with a narcissist or a psychopath. If you find yourself over-obligated, over-committed, and you're not able to see sort of their truth, oftentimes because you are trying to hide the truth from yourself. So you need to really become intimately aware with this situation. And if this person has been a quote-unquote bad actor in your life, they've done you wrong, they've done you dirty, they've showed you their true colors, and it's not life-giving, it's not joy-giving, it's deterring you, it's just taking away energy, it's exhausting you, depleting you. This is a sure sign that, the psychopath is sort of working into the inner fabric of your being, and it's going to take away your adrenals, cause you to second guess yourself. And the more time you stay in that sort of waffly, floundering state, the more, it can be difficult to own your truth. So I just want you to not give up and to keep going. Just because the world is full of bad actors doesn't mean it has to ruin or destroy your life. Be glad you are the way that you are And realize that oftentimes these narcissist relationships and psychopath relationships, they will create a dependency, not only a dependency, but an addiction. So you have to be very careful that these people will set up, as a viewer so beautifully stated, I love the way she said this, is that they will create an addiction for the vulnerable. They will create an addiction for the most vulnerable. They'll, and I think that's so very, very true. You have to realize, where are your vulnerabilities? If you didn't see them before, it's okay to see them and own them now. This is a revelation process. This is sort of an unfolding, an aha. You're going to have a lot of epiphanies. It's kind of like the springtime of your relationship. A lot of things might start opening up. You thought one thing was another color, it is another. You thought these were going to be the fruits of the relationship, and they are not the fruits of the relationship. You have to be able to take stock and check in with yourself, and not only check in with the narcissist or the psychopath. You have to sort of, stop the suction. Pry them off like the suction cup. Be willing to let go of that. But see, people get addicted to this level of arousal. They feel that it's, they get used to this stress, and they feel that this stress is a new normal for them. But you have to realize that this relationship was not created overnight. It will not heal overnight. And so you just really have to answer to yourself first. I think that was one of the message, rather than feeling you have to always answer to the narcissist, answer to yourself. Being able to catch that, I think, will prove a very important element to your healing. Answer to yourself first. And this is what they said. They get the vulnerable addicted. That is a big wow. And I think that's just a beautiful statement. So thank you for sharing. And I want you to sort of realize that a way through weakness, a way through confusion, a way through the fog is to let go of the weakness and go into your strength, to let go of the fog and come into your clarity in the fog, which is really fear, obligation, and guilt. So if you can't think through things, you can't put one thought in front of the other, you have a trouble being decisive, and you're always sort of putting them first, and you have a fear, a trepidation, a guilt, a worry, an insecurity, get it stable. If you're, be willing to let go of the weakness and leave it behind. If this makes you feel uncomfortable, then you need to work on this and understand this question and what it particularly specifically means for you. This is an individual personal journey that you are on. So you have to be able to sort of create some answers and have sort of therapeutic thoughts, as it becomes to the realization, and understand what your future can and will hold for you. It might not include all this pain, this suffering, this anxiety, this fight, and this sort of ruminating thoughts, but become aware of the degree to which your thoughts are surrounding this person and this relationship, and be willing to acknowledge and validate, and be willing to let those go, and be willing to plant some new things in its place. It might be difficult. No one said it was going to be easy. It might be hard. You might not be able to do it today. You might need to do this tomorrow. But at least to have a game plan, a goal, and a vision for your future moving forward, and being happy to realize that oftentimes they want to satisfy the needs of the narcissist before they satisfy their own. So you need to look at reordering this within yourself and be willing to understand, what does it mean for you to be put first? And if so, does this make you feel uncomfortable? If you were to be in the limelight, if you were to be put first, if you were to have some attention, if the narcissist, the psychopath, or a posse or series of people or your workplace, if they were to respect you, what would this feel like? You need to understand what respect feels like and go for that as your goal, because otherwise you're going to just drag yourself over the coals, and that's going to be these brainwashing and reoccurring thoughts. And yes, the narcissist or the psychopath will tell you things like gaslighting and brainwashing. These are just made up terms. I hope you beg to differ. Get your focus straight and be willing to embrace yourself. It is enough. You are enough. This is your buddy, Peace and Harmony, with you here today. And I hope that these videos do help. Please share, please subscribe, and please donate for more great tools, videos, discussion, and support. Peace out, peace be with you, and have a beautiful day.